Greetings and welcome to the Chabot Movie Club. Now, we wanted to give you all big thanks for the continuous support, and we wanted to let you know that there's a certain tradition here when it comes to comic book and superhero films. The amazing, the fantastic, the incredible, the other adjectives, crushed comments come after the film to give a debrief panel regarding their thoughts on the film. So without further ado, here is our live audience reaction to Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. Oh, of course, spoilers ahead. If you want more information regarding tickets and showtimes, please visit our website at www.thechabot.com. Enjoy.
Our universe is 838, and we've designated yours 616.
Yeah, sure. Must know a lot about the multiverse.
Me. I'm a senior fellow with the Baxter Foundation, and I specialize in multiversal research.
What then? Hydra? The Illuminati? The Illumi-what-i? Here, borrow?
Blackagar, Voltagun, keeper of the Terrigen Mists, the Inhuman King.
Blackagar, Voltagar.
And the smartest man alive, Reed Richards.
Doctor Strange?
Can I help you?
You caused it.
You're Doctor Strange, Earth's mightiest hero who died defeating Thanos?
We should tell him the truth.
We'll find Professor Johnson.
What?
That's not how, Strange.
It's over!
Hi, we're from Crush Comics. I'm Andrea, this is Cole, and this is Miles. You're about to watch our thoughts on Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness.
We're very excited to see this movie. We just finished up, and we just finished up our Debrief 2, and we're hoping that you guys are going to have as much fun as we do.
Enjoy our conversation. That's all.
And this is the first time we've been split, so see how that goes.
Intrigue.
Well, thank you for staying, everyone. Up in the stage is our very lovely Fresh Comics. Give them a round of applause. Testing, testing.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for sticking around. We're Crush Comics. Miles, Andrea, Josh, and Cole, your local professional nerds. Okay, so I think we're split up here.
We're split?
We're split. Didn't like it. The boys didn't like it. I got up here thinking,
Okay.
yeah, no, so this is the first time we haven't been like in agreement, I feel like. So that's interesting because I am like having a Stefan moment. Have you seen the new Marvel movie? It has everything. Multi-dimensional travel, zombies, witches, John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I'm so hyped. I loved it. I am not a person who roots for a villain, but Wanda's arc from where she started to where she got, for me, as a Scarlet Witch fan, I leaned over to Josh and was like, there you are, Peter. I mean, Elizabeth Olsen killed it as a mom. I get it. Professor, I would break the multiverse for my kids. I would.
You've met them, they're cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my kids.
Yeah, no, I would destroy Comertosh for my kids. Absolutely. I loved it. I loved it so much. Professor X's Bay. I'm sorry, I know the boys feel different, I was shaking Josh. He's here. I mean, that comes from like Picard and stuff though. Like I just love him so much. Josh and I have been fan casting John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic for years. Not you? Is it me? It's me. I love it so much. Sorry, you're gonna have to bleep that. But I love it so much. I was so happy. I was so excited. I was so hyped. Maria Rambeau as Captain Marvel. We had Peggy. I mean, it had everything. Okay, so I'll pass it off.
No, I'm just really interested to know what you didn't like about it, Miles. This is
everyone.
interesting. Yeah. Hold on. Before he poisons your mind.
Whoa, hey, I don't think so.
What's the general consensus of the crowd? Are we yes?
Did you guys like it?
Are we no?
Who didn't like it?
I got this.
All right.
I saw one person.
That's not
Someone over there said,
What do you think?
hey man, there was a green bowl guy. That's pretty cool.
There was a green bowl.
There was a green bowl guy. At the same
Bro,
time.
his name is
Rinta. Why was he there?
So they had a Minotaur in it, and you're like, boot that
No,
movie?
I'm just joking. I love that last hour a lot. Sam Raimi really went full Evil Dead.
So Disney let him make an Evil Dead movie.
Disney really let him make
They
an
were
Evil
like,
Dead movie.
hey, can you
Yeah.
do a movie for us? And he's like, yeah, but the first half is going to be Spider-Man, and the second half is going to be Evil Dead.
We're cool with that. The Souls of the Damned had that high-pitched like woman voice he does when all of it's like they're all blah, I'm gonna taunt you. Right.
And
Love
the
that.
zooms and
Love that. The camera work was crazy. They must have. I don't know how they did that. They just had Sam going crazy with that camera. Wong should be dead, dude. That fall was crazy. I don't know. That was a sloppy thing. It was crazy. It was so fast-paced and weird, and I did not have time to care for the Illuminati. They just were there, and then they got. They gave Black Bolt tiny little wings. Love it. I love that. I'm not being sarcastic. I love that they gave him little wings. This movie,
that's the same guy that played him in the TV show.
Yeah, and they had the nerve to say the word Inhumans, which I thought Disney would shy away from because they're really ashamed of how they show
I'm more
that.
surprised that they said that man's government name. His name is Blackagar Bolton.
Say that in the mic.
Beautiful.
His name is
Blackagar
Bolton. That is his government name, and I think it's amazing that they kept that. That's what I refer to him as at the shop, so that made me happy.
to sum my thoughts up, it was just really sloppy. I feel like I didn't have a lot of time to care about the people I was supposed to care about. I feel like Wanda's transition from WandaVision is really sudden, like insta-villain. That was a little jarring to me. They did one thing that I love because I've been calling it for years. I said if they're gonna do a Fantastic Four movie in the MCU one day, it should be like a period, like in the 60s, like kind of like retro. Also to explain kind of where they've been this whole time. And he said, in my universe, didn't your flight depart in the 60s? And that is excellent that they set that up. I'm very happy. You guys were cheering about John Krasinski, so you wouldn't. Hey man, John did fine. I like that they're saving the Mr. Fantastic stretch. Like they didn't want to show it until they give us the actual Fantastic Four. So I kind of like they're staring with it. Anyway, just a little messy. I had a good time though.
Hi, Cole. I think that movie is literally 50-50. I think that is half of the best Doctor Strange movie you could possibly ask for, made by the exact person that needs to be making it. And I think Sam Raimi, the same way James Gunn was just kind of made for Guardians of the Galaxy, and we couldn't know it until we saw it, because this is something that's magical. It's the same way with Sam Raimi with this character. And I 100% believe that. But the other 50% I think is pandering nonsense. And that is what it is. I think it's gonna play different. Well, I'll tell you guys this. I cannot explain to you with the time we have up here how diametrically opposed I am to the idea of our first views of Professor X and Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic in this world being what we just saw. I think it was very unnecessary and very silly, especially because these are characters that they're obviously going to franchise. I can't wrap my mind around why you would bring them in this capacity just to kill them. I think that whole second act of that movie was frustrating. But I think the first act and the third act were really, really fun and really interesting. I think all the stuff they did with the magic was great. I wish we got more of Benedict Cumberbatch and Benedict Wong together, because man, they're really great together. And Wong and Doctor Strange is just a very lovable pairing. But yes, like I said, I really think it is a 50-50 mixed bag.
So yeah, I think I loved it. I think it was absolutely awesome. Yeah, Sam Raimi is exactly the person to do the Ditko Doctor Strange vibe. Like so that's Shumagorath, the octopus. So in all the toys that you're gonna see in the stores, his name's gonna be Gigantos, which is absolute a lie. It's due to licensing rights with the Robert E. Howard estate. Robert E. Howard estate. Anyway, that octopus is Shumagorath, and Shumagorath is near and dear to my heart. He's just a weird other dimensional monster who is awesome in fighting games, and I love him. He's super cool, and to see him on screen is awesome. Really, really cool. He got wings. He got his cloak of levitation was made out of the souls of the damned. That is the raddest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's so fresh. Zombie Doctor Strange.
There was so much that this movie did that could have been a panel pulled from a book.
Yeah.
And I always love that. I always love that in a comic movie, when you have the source material and you really pay,
Yeah.
So for me, I really like that. But I mean, the beginning was Spider-Man 3. I mean, it was like when Christine stepped out in her wedding dress.
Yeah.
I was
Do we
like,
think that
there's
Sam
Mary
Raimi?
Jane.
Sorry.
Hi, Mary Jane. Like,
Do we think that Sam Raimi has been to a number of weddings where he was in love with the bride? Because I just feel like he's got some serious trauma there that he needs to work through in a way that doesn't involve us. We're not invited to that session.
This is his therapy.
This movie was so hype. So I totally get what you're saying about introducing those characters, but they set the tone for that with WandaVision, right? When they showed us Quicksilver that wasn't Quicksilver and then got rid of him, Kevin Feige and that bald head, let us know what was coming.
To put it in that context, something I do find frustrating about how the multiverse works in the MCU movies, and it's something you can't really avoid because we live in the real world where you can't have a million Iron Mans forever, where you can just draw him up in whatever crazy version you want to be and work with living people that want to do this. do not like about that is that we have to have this kind of weird situation where whatever story they're telling with the multiverse is this weird reflexive thing for us in the real world. Like, it's not hype that Professor X is in this movie, it's hype that's Patrick Stewart as Professor X.
Yeah.
It's hype that John Krasinski as Reed Richards, right? And that's the type of stuff I find frustrating with how they're using the multiverse. I don't know what else you could really do in our real world with, you know, people's contracts. I don't know what else you could do with that, but I just think it's kind of it's something they're not afraid to completely halt the story they're trying to tell or all that stuff in. And I just find it distracting.
That totally makes sense. I feel that. I wish we had got a little bit more with Wanda and Professor X because their relationship is so deep and important in the comics. So to have her just snap his neck was brutal. And okay, the most brutal kill was Voltagon blowing his own head up. That was so crazy.
I saw a lot of things leading up to this movie that was, how did Disney pass this with a PG-13 rating? Yeah. Tyler, that's the thing I've known for weeks, and I wanted to see how they were going to do it. I knew Blackagon, Boltagon, I'm so sorry. Blackagon, Boltagon's head blew up, and I was like, how far are they going to go? And you just see his vessels erupt and his face explode, and that's crazy.
It goes concave. It was brutal.
Yeah, that was insane.
And then Peggy.
Yeah.
I would like to say that
I think everybody they included on the Illumi-what-i that weren't Mr. Fantastic and Xavier were really good inclusions. I thought it was really fun to, like, for example, we had the Inhuman show and we had a Black Bolt that disappointed people. It was nice to see an actor Black Bolt. It was nice to see Haley Atwell as.
He said, I'm sorry, dude. He said, I'm sorry to their Doctor Strange. That's when he killed him. Like, that was rad. That was
I don't want to be the one, Josh,
you
but
can
like
be the one. I don't mind.
Black Bolt in the comics is so hype, and the curse of Black Bolt is like every time he shows up, he's billed as this cosmic threat that's gonna whoop everybody's behind, and he can never really be that because then it'll ruin the story. And in this, that is exactly what he was, which is true to character, but sadly. Like, I'm happy for his inclusion. I have no problem with him being taken out the way that he was, but I didn't feel like the screen hit when he talked to Doctor Strange and like just erased him. I felt it was very flaccid. So,
I thought it was cool. I thought it was very cool. I thought it was like, I don't know.
It was a cool moment.
I think everything, I'm sorry. Go. Everything was where it needed to be too much in this movie. I'll elaborate. They go to a future where on the sidewalk you just view your memories, and it says it's going to charge you, and it didn't. It gives you a free one. I guess this one's on the house kit. Yeah, the discount one.
It would have been cool. Sorry, just to diverge. It would have been cool if they didn't see their own memories.
Yeah.
If they saw the alternate memories, but then America doesn't have. She's the only one. I thought America was really cool. I'm not like super knowledgeable on her character in the book. She's a recent inclusion to the Marvel Universe. But she was really cool. She was a fun, like kid driver character for the plot. Like her being the key in the center of it was really cool. But like Ned could use a sling ring day one, and I'm just a little disappointed that she couldn't do it.
But can he tough his way to another universe? I don't think he can.
Punching through realities is really cool. Yeah, it was cool. It was fresh.
So we've talked a lot.
Yes.
We wanted. Do you guys have questions, comments?
What do you guys think?
Piano fight.
Huh?
Piano fight.
Piano fight! Okay, that's out of a book. I don't know which one, or if it's actually real, but that felt like the book.
Yeah.
That absolutely
That was
felt like panels.
The
It
coolest
was so cool.
music fight since Scott Pilgrim, right? Since the bass
Yeah.
battle in Scott
Yeah.
Pilgrim. Like, so very cool. Yeah, that was awesome. Yes. Yeah.
that fight was awesome. But
And a second.
as for the greater connectivity of the MCU, I think it's really weird that Marvel knew that this fight was going to be in this movie. And then they put the fight in What If, where Doctor Strange did exactly what he did in this movie, fight an evil version of himself.
Yeah.
And that was a better fight, unfortunately. But I definitely think this fight was more creative, and I think it's worked really well on its own. But Since this is so interconnected, I found that strange that they would have that strange.
I think I like the zombie Doctor Strange with the corpse cloak of levitation cooler than Strange Supreme.
Oh, 10,000%. I'm just talking about
The fight specifically between the music fight, just because good Doctor Strange versus evil Doctor Strange, it's the same colors that were in that fight. I just thought that was
Purple's
interesting.
evil.
But the cloak made out of demons
Demon cloak.
was something that only Sam Raimi could come up with.
Other questions?
Any thoughts?
Anybody thoughts?
Yeah.
One thing I was a little disappointed about was there was no Crush video skit before. I could have totally seen Cole being Mordo or something.
That's my fault.
Cole was deathly ill.
I think Mordo's a little below my pay grade, to be honest. Maybe Wong.
Wong, maybe?
We are coming with a banger of a video
Don't
for.
hype for that high.
Oh no, we're going. July's gonna be so fun. I'm not gonna go over what we have planned, but we have some crazy cool stuff coming up to tie into the Thor movie.
Yeah.
So we're gonna triple down on what the Thor video was.
Super excited for
That
Thor,
is a
you guys.
problem.
Very
Promo Thor a little bit more.
Because what else do we have going on for Thor?
Oh, we announced
Can we say that yet?
Is it under wraps?
You guys get the first.
And the inside.
The true believers.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are putting together a collective. I have rounded up a collective of some of the single best artists that have ever come out of the Bay Area and a few other places, and we're putting on a Thor-themed art show next door in that little space that connects Crush and the movie theater, and it's going to be insanely cool, and it's going to tie into the opening day of Thor, so you guys get a few things to do that day. It's going to be a good time.
Super excited about that. Miles is well connected in the art world, and he's
And an
really
artist himself.
and an artist himself, and he's really gonna class this place up. So
It's gonna be
we're
really
very
exciting. We're all very, very excited for it. And this weekend is Free Comic Book
Oh,
Day.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
haven't
I like
mentioned
that.
that yet. Yeah, Free Comic Book Day is on Saturday from 1 to 6, and
By the
Thank
shop.
You Grill will be next door with food, which will be so rad. Okay, so back to the movie. I'd like to talk for just a second about Wanda.
Yeah,
I get it. Like, I just, the absolute heartbreak that Wanda has suffered. I've always said from the beginning of Endgame, the first time I watched it, when she's dusted, it's relief on my face. You know, because she just killed the love of her life. And only to have it reversed for him to be annihilated. And then she's dusted and she's not afraid, she's relieved that like her suffering is gone, right? And then she comes back and she breaks, and Wanda is not sane in the comics. Scarlet Witch is not like a level-headed person. So she, and I've heard Elizabeth Olsen say that her favorite part of Wanda, her favorite story is House of M, and that's one of my favorite stories as well. And to see her lose it and become this actual Scarlet Witch and get super dark and super evil for a reason that maybe I'm a little crazy too, but like I get it. I get wanting to go there. And then the way that she went and saw what she was doing and then decided no, you know? And they could have just defeated her. They could have just killed her. And they didn't. And so for me, the thing I like most about movies in general are characters. And I think that that's why I enjoyed this so much, is because the character development from when Wanda came on the scene with her crazy accent and her weird fingers to where she ended, I love it. I love it so much.
So I'm actually very, very glad that they made Wanda the big bad in this movie, because they kind of, like in the trailers, we saw a few different monsters and we saw an evil Doctor Strange, and I was like, okay, Wanda's gonna be in the movie, but she's probably not gonna be the villain. And it's so cool that they gave her the space to be the villain. And I think like what you were saying about characters, And I think the best Marvel movies, the ones at least that I enjoy the most, are the ones where the villains are interesting, right? Where the villains are cool and you can understand their motivations. And Wanda probably has the most understandable motivation of all of them.
Wanda and Thor.
And Thor, yeah. Side note, have you guys seen Everything Everywhere All at Once? Multiversal movie.
It's a better multiverse.
With really great characters, and it deals with generational trauma. Like it's a perfect film. You guys gotta go see it. I love this film. I love the Marvel movies. But go see it. Can you guys get that? Can you guys play it? Are you no? Oh, bummer. Yeah. But it's an excellent film. You guys should really go see it. It's very weird, very fun. Clea. Yo, Clea.
If she was Sue Storm, I was going to scream.
Clea showing up jarred me so much I forgot her name. I was very taken aback by that. But I did want to go off of what you said. I think what works best in this movie is definitely Wanda. And I think that I don't believe Kevin Feige and that she's going to come back if they want her to come back. So I'm hoping we haven't seen the end of it. But
there was a weird.
Well, now we understand how nobody ever dies in Marvel Universe, right? Because there's a multiverse, an infinite multiverse, so they can go grab another one if they need one.
That's a good point to bring up too, because I wonder if we're ever going to cross that, because that's the famous, one of the famous things people say about superhero comic books in particular is that nobody stays dead, unless you're Uncle Ben. But other than that, it's free game. And I wonder if we're ever going to cross that line where people just start popping out of their graves. I mean, I guess in some ways we have, with not literally popping out of their graves, but just...
Well, actually, yes.
Now we have. Look at that. The thought of
I still kind of secretly believe that Uncle Ben,
what's his name? Tom Holland's Uncle Ben is not dead. I don't think so. I don't know.
You might get the answer to that because they're doing this show on Disney Plus called Spider-Man Freshman Year, which will fill in that little gap that we never got to see. It's going to be Peter from getting bit to when he got drafted into the Civil War.
Yeah.
Now
That's
Civil
canon.
War. And it's canon. It's canon. If it's on Disney Plus, it's canon. Even you just saw Peggy from What If. It's all canon. So we'll see.
Specific Peggy
Is it the
from
same
What If?
Peggy?
I don't know.
She got took out.
She wasn't as
That's
bad.
tough.
Dude, that was brutality.
Did cartoon Peggy have
Jetpack.
She didn't have the jetpack in the show, at least I don't remember.
But Reed can whip
Yeah,
that out.
sword.
No
But
problem.
I'm just saying, so maybe it wasn't. I mean, Peggy is Captain Carter in multiple universes.
I feel bad for all the folks that just spent $300 on their first appearance in Captain Carter. Because she's dead. That's a porn investment. It's a good ouch. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see if they bounce back. I feel like we're never going to see anybody that was on the Illuminati get save Mordo. But
Mordo is still in that alley, right?
in the
Like
middle.
he's still stuck, trying to climb up that weird pipe. Like
he can't do the full flip. He can't do the
He
full
has
flip.
got one thing on, so he can't use magic, and he's just trapped down there. Like, guys,
You can't get too out. We are all powerful, but there is
If
a
only he could hit that Assassin's Creed Ezio wall jump.
well, yeah.
But
He's stuck.
Doctor Strange is the one that can do that.
Now, where was Tom Cruise Iron Man? I was waiting for that. I was like,
That was never going to happen. I've been tracking this movie pretty close. There's so much that got blown up. I heard they did reach out to Ben Affleck to be a Daredevil variant. I heard a lot of stuff, but the one thing that a few people behind the scenes have confirmed is they never reached out to Tom Cruise. I think that was popular because Tom Cruise was almost our Iron Man before we got Robert Downey Jr. There was going to be a '90s Iron Man movie that got canceled.
There's a multiverse.
There's a multiverse where we're all sitting, pining over Tom Cruise being dead and after Endgame. That reality exists, and I'm glad we're not in there.
Yeah, that was it's funny because, Tom Cruise's Iron Man might not have ever been planned to be in this, whatever. But when I was watching the Illuminati scenes, I was thinking to myself, would this not have more of an impact for at least Doctor Strange if it was Iron Man instead of...
If it was RDJ.
Right, and that cheapens what happened in Endgame. At the same time, that doesn't really matter at this point, because anything can happen, obviously. So I was just thinking to myself, it would tie into what they were setting up. Another thing that frustrates me is that everybody apparently knows what happened during Endgame. I guess the Avengers cut a press conference where they just said all the things during that battle. But since they set that up, I thought, wouldn't it be more interesting if this is the person who Doctor Strange didn't kill but had died because of his actions, and that might have been the greater good, but this one person is now gone. And it would make more sense when you have this person being in charge of condemning them to this fated death and not fit to live their days across the multiverse.
So that Illuminati, from the video that we saw, killed him on Titan before he got to Snap. So they're the better Avengers. I mean, maybe their Iron Man never died. Maybe their Iron Man is still like a playboy hanging out.
That was the
like,
14 million 606th universe that Steven didn't see happen, or they actually won a second time.
What is the number of this universe? Is it 831 or 813? They said. Oh, I'm sorry. Really? Yeah.
As a side note, I was just saying that thing about the robots. When that head rolled, did anybody else hear that head say the name Ultron?
Yeah.
Those were Ultron.
Ultron bots.
So
Yeah. You need Tony for Ultron.
you need Tony and Bruce.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
At least one of them, right?
At least in the main story.
It's 616. Yeah.
So they gave us 616, which
They've been teasing that for
John
so long.
They said that in Far From Home.
And that's
true.
why it bothers
They
me,
did, yeah.
because the person who said that was
a
lying.
liar.
Yeah.
He just happened to get it right.
Mysterio lied to us. He's like,
Oh, that is
you guys are
Yeah.
616, I'm 827.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Turns out he was a liar. He was just a guy. So why would he know that? But
What isn't the movie universe a different number?
I don't think it actually
Isn't
is.
616 the comic?
Well, 616, yeah, is the comic.
they just merged them just now. That's what happened by calling this 616. It's gonna happen. We're 30 projects into this. They're gonna start crossing wires a little, and there's gonna be little lines that don't add up.
I think
It's gonna make continuity a lot harder.
Yeah.
I think we as a fan base told ourselves that the MCU was going to be another world in the actual comic book Marvel multiverse, and that's just not the case.
We'll call the comic universe 616C or something.
Okay. Yeah, that is going to be. Hopefully it's nice. But I always think it's funny that both the Marvel and DC universes have set designations. Like, no matter if you're on Earth 5, it doesn't matter if you call it Earth 5, that's Earth 5.
Yeah.
I just think that's funny.
I just had an idea of a parent telling their kid, and their kid's like, "Oh, what planet do we live on? Earth 5. Why is it Earth 5? I don't know. That's just what they named it. Don't ask questions.
All of us at the same time.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
Is that what planet we're living on?
We live on Terra.
Yes. Yeah, we do live on Terra.
I don't know that.
Anybody else?
Yeah, any more?
Any other questions, comments?
Actually,
Yeah.
I got another one. So when early on this, when they were talking to Strange about the multiverse, he said, "Oh yeah, that experience with that recently with Spider-Man." Now, shouldn't he not remember that?
He doesn't know that Peter Parker is under that mask. Spider-Man is in everyone's memory fully masked. They remember him in Infinity War. They remember him coming up in Endgame. No one knows who he is. That is how that spell works.
No one knows Peter.
No one knows Peter Parker.
Peter
Spider-Man is remembered by everyone. So they fully hit the reset, which is something I loved in that movie.
I think we're just not supposed to think about the fact that people who did things with Spider-Man have to remember those events, even if they don't remember why they were doing what they were doing. And that's kind of what
MJ like
that movie
remembers
leads
kissing
to.
Spider-Man, but now it's like through his mask.
I don't know. Like, she woke up on the Statue of Liberty, right? Like, what did she think she was doing? So, I don't know. You got there somehow, and you got there because of Spider-Man.
Multiverse stuff is.
I'm sorry.
Can't we just enjoy our lives?
He went to school for this. He's too powerful.
He's too powerful.
My favorite part of this night is how much you enjoyed this movie.
I had
I'm
so
stoked
much
you love
fun.
this.
I
I'm
had
stoked you
so
guys
much
love this.
fun.
It was very cool.
I mean, I get where you guys are coming from. I do. I get it. For me, I don't care. I mean, for me, it was so fun. I enjoyed every minute of it. I was hyped for all of it. I had a lot of fun. And that's what movies should be, right? Movies should be an experience. And it's cool to step back and talk about them and deconstruct them and really go, into the nitty gritty. But sometimes it's fun to just have fun. And that's, I had fun.
I'm gonna end it on one more thing for me. I'll probably have to wait. People will be cheering at this movie for a long time. So there were certain things I didn't get to hear. Yeah. There were higher pitched piano notes when Professor X rolled in. Was it the animated theme?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I literally 2 days ago, I was like, it'd be cool to just hit like an orchestral version of the animated song.
This whole movie was
Very
worth
good.
it. That one snap zoom with Patrick Stewart doing shit.
Yeah, but the vocals,
They could have just moved that shit for 2 hours.
And yes, I mean, of course it was pandering to have Professor X, but just even the moment, the tiny 30 seconds that he was in the Mind Palace and pulling Wanda out.
It's really cool that Wanda had the same like origin, right? Like that's cool. She was
Yeah,
in
she was in Sokovia.
and she had the powers and everything.
What
So,
was
like,
on the TV? It was WandaVision.
It was WandaVision.
Was it? Did
Yeah.
they show WandaVision? That's cool.
Yeah.
The WandaVision theme song playing when they introduced her in the movie was excellent. That was great.
Oh, I missed that. That's
Yeah.
great.
As soon as they're like, who do we know who knows witchcraft? They just start going dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
Dun.
yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anything else to say?
Closing
Thoughts?
thoughts?
Okay. Hey, you guys, we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us and talking about this. Yeah, we really appreciate you guys coming to see these movies here at the Chabot. This is my personal favorite theater, near and dear to my heart. A lot of familiar faces here, you probably know that. But thanks so much for coming out. We really appreciate it. Come see us on Saturday. We got free
This
books.
Saturday.
All you gotta do is walk in, pick up the books, take them, and then
Only if you off the limit to 4 votes.
I don't know what the limit is. I gotta do something. But
I
there's
will
gonna
be
be,
looking.
there's a lot.
Enough to go around.
Go early and vote often. Yeah, but come by. Yeah. Thank you guys again.
Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you.